We live in a world of men who cannot focus. We live in a world of men who are self-sabotaging. We live in a world of men who are prone and who are victims to their emotional state. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to get ahead of 99% of men in your business and in your life using two things. Now, here's the thing. There's one thing that scares the shit out of me above everything else, which is doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same results. Lately, I've been speaking with a couple of entrepreneurs, male entrepreneurs especially. One of them has been posting content on Facebook. Another one has been posting content on YouTube for 3-4 years approximately. And yet their business is generating the same amount of money for the last 2 years. The other person has been coaching for 4+ years approximately, and yet they're still stuck at a certain level of income. And man, this scares the shit out of me. Imagine you're doing the same thing over and over again for years, and yet you're getting the same exact results. You're burning the most important asset that you have as a human being, which is time. Dealing with the same type of clients, working on the same type of strategies, and it just gets overwhelming to a level where I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna be very transparent within this video. I would rather die than living that life of being in a cycle, in a rat race that is repetitive. You think that you have the freedom, but you don't have the freedom because you're doing the same exact things and you get the same exact type of results. And this is where 99% of men and of entrepreneurs are living in. The trying phase. The phase where you're trying to get something, where you're trying to achieve something. The phase where you're trying to build something. You have a fire. You have a fire, and this fire, like, close your eyes and imagine with me. The potential that you can achieve, this potential is like a ball of fire, and it sits here. With every entrepreneur that I speak with, it sits here. It's like this potential, this ball of pure and extreme potential that you can achieve whatever you want to achieve in your life. And yet, this fire is burning and burning and burning, but it's not being fulfilled. Day in and day out, week in and week out, month in and month out, year in and year out. And I'm not here to try to doomsday whatever it is. No, I'm here to provide a solution. I'm here to show you that there's another way out. I'm here to show you that there is a possibility to get out of this cycle of detriment. And here's the thing. Who am I? And how am I qualified to tell you what I'm going to tell you? See, I'm no one. To a certain extent. I'm not someone who goes online and tells you like I'm making millions of dollars. I have an 8-figure business. I've traveled all around the world. I've met the highest caliber people. No, I'm not. I'm an entrepreneur who makes an average of $12,000, $12,500 within his business. I've built and sold a company in 2020, but only for 6 figures, not multi-7 figures, not to a well-known firm. And yes, I am here to, if you like what I say and if you like what I present, with time, you're going to buy from me. I'm not going to be one of those people. I have nothing to sell you. No, with time, you're going to buy from me. But I have a mission, and my mission is much bigger than this transaction. My mission is to influence and lead men to become stronger, emotionally resilient, and wealthy. Because when I was young, I grew up in a third world country. And I still live in a third world country, by the way. I chose not to go out of it. And no one helped me. And I had to figure everything by myself. And you know how many nights I sat down and I wanted to sleep, but I couldn't because I had so much stress on my mind. Do you know how many nights I was like, is this life worth even living? Do you know how many nights I was by myself thinking about everything that I can achieve and I've never achieved it? Endless nights. And I don't want you to feel that. I don't want you to feel that you're not playing at your biggest potential. So I'm doing those videos for you. So you can take them, you could apply them, and at least make 10K per month in your business. So you could have at least some sense of freedom in your life. So you could taste the beauty of freedom. I digress. Let's take it one step back. 99% of men are stuck. 99% of business owners are stuck. You want to be the 1%. You want to be the 1% who achieves growth, who always creates something out of nothing, who always achieves the greatness, and who wins. Let's talk about it. 2 ways to do it. I have a guarantee. If you do the 2 things, and if you focus on the 2 things, and if you apply them, and if you commit to them, in the next 12 weeks, you're going to be making more money than you know what to fucking do with. Number 1, focus on income generating activities. Go to your calendar. Look at all of the tasks that you do every single day. If you don't have a calendar that is full of the tasks that you do every single day, this is the first thing that you should start tracking, because your income is reflected in your activities and your activities are reflected in your calendar. So if you look at your calendar and you don't have anything, this is where to start. Track your activities. So anyway, go to your calendar, look at your activities, look at how your day is going. And when you look at it, segment the activities into 5 buckets. Bucket number 1, rest. Whether it was sleep, whether it was resting, whether it was whatever it is. Bucket number 2, personal. You work out, you meditate, you journal, personal. Bucket number 3, admin. If you have a business, you have admin activities. You have things that you have to check, automations that you have to check up on, team members that you have to speak with. If you're not a business owner, if you're just someone who wants to achieve something, admin could be like doing your journaling because, well, you're the admin of your mind. Admin. Number 4, future income generating activities. It's basically you looking at the actions that you're doing right now and what is the impact about them in the future. And let's say you're working on your program. Working on your program is not an immediate income generating activities. It's a future income generating activity. It's not going to make you money now. It's going to make you money in the future. Another future income generating activity is getting on client calls, for example. It's not going to make you money now because they already paid you those clients, but it's going to build up the relationship with them over a longer period of time, so they repeat purchase from you and repeat purchase from you and repeat purchase from you. So that's future income generating activities. And number 5 is immediate income generating activities. That's getting on sales calls. That's DMing people. That's, even though I don't like DMing and I teach content that sells. That's creating content. That's me doing right now a YouTube video. Content. Immediate income generating activities. Go back to your calendar and every task that you had, take them and put them into one of the buckets. And as soon as you do that, you can do it on an Excel sheet, you can do it on a software, you can do it wherever you want to do it. But what I can guarantee is as soon as you do that, you're going to look at your calendar, you're going to look at your bucket, and you're going to realize one thing. I'm not making enough money because I remember when I first did it, I was making like $3,000 a month. Oof. You're going to look at your calendar, you're going to look at the buckets, and you're going to realize I'm not making enough money. Simply because I'm focusing on everything more than I'm focusing on the immediate income generating activities. And if in 12 weeks, you truly want to get ahead of 99% of people, my friend, make money. How can you make money? You focus on immediate income generating activities and you make those your highest priority in the immediate term. When you have more money in the bank, when you have more freedom, then start to focus on future income generating activities. But for now, focus on immediate income generating activities. This will make you a lot of money. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. This is number 1. Number 2, focus. But not just focus. Focus till the end. This is key. Focus till the end. Focus has a lot of nuances. Dan Koh wrote a book called The Art of Focus. People talk about flow. A lot of nuances when it comes to the idea of focus. But in essence, focus is doing something and making sure that it's done. Doing something and seeing it until completion. It's doing something and making this one thing your core focus. The problem with us men entrepreneurs is that we are visionaries. We have a lot of things that we want to do. We have a lot of directions that take our attention. We have a lot of avenues that you want to achieve, especially if you want the financial and the location freedom. Like literally right now, I'm showing this video and next door, like I have a pool. I could just go out and have fun on the pool, but it's not focus. Focus is when in the next 12 weeks, in the next 12 months, in the next 12 years, you're like, I have this one singular thing that I want to achieve and I want to see it until completion. And I'm not going to do anything else until I see this one thing until completion. And when I get it and when I see it until completion, I'm going to reward myself with a lack of focus, with something that's going to distract you. But until this thing is achieved, before this thing is achieved, focus. And for that condition to be met, there's another condition that has to be introduced into the equation, which is if you want to focus on one singular thing, you have to know what is the one singular thing that you want to focus on. And that's the power that we have in the digital age that we're living in, which is whatever you choose to focus on, you can get it. You don't have location constraints because you have the internet. You don't have information constraints. You have ChatGPT. You have courses. You have Google. You have people that you can speak with. So location constraints, nothing. Knowledge constraints, nothing. So what's holding you back? In reality, nothing. It's just that you haven't looked at everything and said, I want this one thing. It's like you have this bundle of stuff that you can look at and you haven't just chosen this one. So here's what I invite you to do the next 12 weeks. What is this one thing? Here was mine. I make right now $12,500 approximately per month from one thing and one thing only. I create content that sells. And I made content that sells my North Star. And I made it my focus. And all that I did every day for the past 2 years for 2 hours and 3 hours is develop content that sells and is write. Every day I write and I develop content that sells. That's my main focus. That's the main thing that I do every single day. Right now, I'm making $12,000, $500 per month, and I want to go to 7 figures. That means I want to go to $100,000 per month. What do you think I'm doing? I'm doing more of writing content that sells. Singular focus. But there's a nuance to this, which is if you singularly focus, and please focus with me. If you singularly focus on something that is not in alignment with your strengths, you are doomed to fail. You are doomed to fail. We live in a world and in a generation where whatever you're passionate about, you can build a business out of it. Yet most people build businesses that they are not passionate about, that they are not interested about, that does not pique their interest. Stop it. Because when you do something that you are interested about every day for hours, you're not going to feel like it's work. You're not going to feel like you're focusing. When I start writing content, I don't want to stop. I put a timer to stop my content writing, not the other way around. Why? Because I love writing. I love persuasion. I love psychology. When I do those videos, like, I don't know, I've been talking for 15 minutes, 16 minutes, whatever it is, and I could keep going on and on and on, but I had to limit myself and tell you in the beginning of video, there are 2 things. If I didn't limit myself, I would go on and on, off on tangents. Why? Because I enjoy it. I love it. So what are the strengths that you have? And how can you triple down on them? And that's a key. If you're very good at building systems, how can you make building systems your highest revenue generating activity and do more of it every single day? This is what gives you a competitive advantage over every single one in your market. This is what builds a 1% man. You're so good at something that it's undeniable. Yet most people, they focus on so many things every single day and they make their North Star something that they are not passionate about. My North Star every day is one good written piece of content. That's my North Star. And if I achieve it, I am happy. The business makes money. My clients are happy and everyone is happy. If you like systems and building flows, how can you build flows for 5 hours a day and get paid to do that? Start thinking differently. Start thinking outside of the box. Start thinking from a lens of how can I make my North Star something that I'm good at, something that I'm strong at, something that I'm passionate about. Because once you do that, you don't need the discipline. You don't need the motivation. It just happens. No one has to pull you up and take you to eat when you're hungry. You just want to eat. It's the same thing. Our minds are very primitive, and I'll do a full video about the construct of the mind and how you can hack the brain in order to do all of the work. But the first piece of the puzzle is know where you're going, have a singular focus, and make sure that the singular focus is something that you actually enjoy fucking doing. Because if you do, my friend, you're in for a treat. You're gonna make a lot of money, you're gonna be able to focus, and you're gonna be able to do what you love to do and build a business out of what you love to do. And don't tell me, no, you don't have to be passionate in order to build a business. Look at the businesses that we have nowadays. I know people who are making 7 figures from businesses, dancing classes businesses, because they are fucking passionate about dancing. I know people who write online every single day and they have a writing course and they're making $4.1 million per year. Why? Because they became good at writing. I know people who like to build audiences of influencers basically. And they now on LinkedIn, they have hundreds of thousands of connections and they make money by traveling all around the world because they just like to network with people and build opportunities and relationships with people. So don't tell me that no, the only way that I can make money is if I do outreach or if I do ads or if I do cold calling. Fuck that. Think outside of the box. How can you turn something that you're good at, a strength of yours, into money and into an activity that if you do every single day, you are guaranteed to make money? I've seen people do some ridiculous stuff and make a lot of money just because they are passionate about it. So think outside of the box, my friend. 1, take an account of your day. Make sure that every day you know where your activities are going, you know where your time is going, you know where your focus is going. 2, make sure that you're focusing on a North Star, and this North Star is something that you are actually good at and passionate about. With that said, if you want to get ahead of 99% of men in a world where every man is lost, where every man is confused, where every man is ADHD to a certain extent, you can turn those into your superpower by just focusing. See you in another video. Bye-bye.